It was about a year ago, that one of my guests on the CKDR Morning Show, formerly from Dryden, Dr. Sasha Reid. About a year ago, she was on the air with me, and we were talking about Dr. Sasha Reid and the Midnight Order, a documentary series that appeared and you can still find on Disney Plus and other platforms. Dr. Sasha Reid and the Midnight Order, a documentary series studying patterns in homicide and identifying possible serial killers. Well, Sasha has come home to Dryden, and tonight, an evening with Dr. Sasha Reid that you are invited to enjoy. The first session beginning at 6:30, the history of serial homicide. The second session, the missing murdered database. And the third session, criminal profiling workshop. An evening with Dr. Sasha Reid. We'll have more about tonight in just a couple of minutes. But I thought it would be a good idea to bring back about last year at this time, my talk, part of it, with Dr. Sasha Reid.
My name is Sasha Reid. I've established one of the world's largest databases on serial killers. I know what makes them tick.
I've assembled a team of women with expertise in data science, criminology, and psychology. We work to study patterns in homicide and identify possible serial killers.
I want to continue to get these families answers.
I'll get you.
I really do believe this to be the crime of the century.
I won't stop. I'm completely committed.
Many in the Dryden area know of you, but for those who don't, take us on your path, your journey.
Well, I think everybody in Dryden knows that we're, a very rural located place. And so I grew up in the country, and I grew up across from this giant forest. And when I was growing up, there weren't a lot of opportunities for girls to participate in extracurricular activities like hockey. So I spent a lot of time imagining and playing in the forest and playing in the woods, and my mind always gravitated towards monsters. And so when I was a kid, I was really interested in the idea of monsters and what lives there. And fortunately, I had a forest to go hunt down werewolves and whatnot. But as I grew up, I started to realize, monsters aren't those fictional things that live out in the dark spaces in the woods. They're people, just like you and me. And so I spent my time in grad school studying psychopathy, studying serial homicide, trying to understand how these people develop and why. And that turned into just a life of exploring the criminal mind and trying to mentor other women and girls who are interested in knowing the same information. And so I started a group called the Midnight Order, who wanted to better understand criminology and psychology, psychopathy. We began building databases. We did a little interesting work together, caught the attention of a filmmaker, and the rest is history. For me, it was, how do we keep information like this? Like, how do we track people who've gone missing or been murdered in Canada? And so it really just started with the purpose of making sure that there's some place where we can store the names of those who have gone missing or been murdered, period. And it really took off from there. The team, they all came up with ideas of what we can do with the data and how it should be used. And through that, we decided, we have to be able to do mapping, right? We have to be able to identify geographically where hotspots are, where are serial killers targeting individuals, and how can we better alert communities to make sure that they know if they're at risk.
You've been doing what many say is fascinating work, but I want to know, have you ever felt or been in danger yourself during the investigative process? Has it ever been dangerous work for you?
Yes. For the investigative work, in general, I've been in a little bit of danger. I did work in a prison. There are some interesting stories there. But in terms of investigating, we do tend to start with the victims and their families. And of course, they never pose any kind of danger for us. It's just a lot of conversation. We did, however, do a stakeout. I can't talk too much about that at the moment because it's still an active issue. But we did do a stakeout, and that was probably the most dangerous thing I've ever done. You can follow me at The Real Dr. Reid. That's on Instagram, or The Midnight Order on TikTok.
There is part of an interview that I had with Dr. Sasha Reid, formerly of Dryden, with the Midnight Order, Sasha Reid and the Midnight Order. And that interview aired last year before the premiere on Disney Plus and other platforms of Dr. Sasha Reid and the Midnight Order, a documentary series studying patterns in homicide and identifying possible serial killers. Looking forward to the intriguing evening tonight at the Center, 100 Casimir Avenue in Dryden. Sasha Reid will be the guest on stage for you to enjoy and listen to. 6:30 until 9 tonight, $25 at the door. Don't miss it.